morning, vinyl community. Jeff here again. And last video I did on, what was that, Friday night? We had went to a thrift store and had a pretty good dealing there, grabbing some stuff. Saturday we spent some time out and about just doing some shopping. And actually we had a final destination to go somewhere to grab a bite to eat. And the destination that we were going to is by the record store that I go to periodically on the other town adjoining us. And I know if I go there, I'm going to end up buying stuff, unofficial release and stuff. But the road to that place, the direction we were headed, it was kind of like, well, let's hit some thrift stores, just kind of killing some time because it was too early to eat and yada, yada, whatever. So we hit another thrift store, and I found some stuff. Now, I can't say that this is as great as the stuff as I found Friday night. Again, Friday night, the stuff I found, if you didn't see that video, was mainly some 80s stuff. Glenn Fry and just some bands that we know, the Eagles, things like that. Things that you don't always see at thrift stores. So I didn't find anything major like that. I did find some stuff, in my opinion, that was worth rescuing. Now, the thing that I liked best about this thrift store is everything was 99 cents. Whereas the other one, the Goodwill stores, they actually have raised their prices. And so you have to pay a couple bucks, $3, $4 an album. 99 cents. And so you take a chance, you rescue things, you decide, to buy things that maybe you wouldn't have initially. It was funny because a lot of the records had a person's name on it. I forget the name, but they had written their name on it. I said, wow, she must have sold her whole record collection, or somebody, gave her record collection away. But this wasn't her name, but somebody wrote their name on this one too. But I picked up Robin Trower Live. Used to belong to Ches Mimo, I guess. I'm assuming that's somebody's name. So, and again, most of these albums were, I could tell they were a little dirty, but really was mainly just fingerprints and scuffs. Brought them home, gave them a quick, easy brush up and polish them, and they looked really well. Anyway, I don't have anything by Robin Trower. I know his history with Procol Harum. I don't know a whole lot about his music. I just have heard the name. He's, been around, blues guitar player, rock guitar player, whatever. So I thought, for 99 cents, I'll grab a live album from 1975. So this is early on in his solo career. It has one, you can see it's pretty shiny. Pretty shiny. I polished it all up. It's got some very minor scuffs on it and one spot that is actually a feelable little scratch. And it pops on that one song. But yeah, it was like, I'm going to grab that. That's some classic rock. Live 1975 area. I picked up Love Broke Through. This is Phil Keaggy's second album. I already had this album, but when I looked at it, I thought, I think the quality might be better than the one that I have at home, so this could be an upgrade for 99 cents. I did do a quick comparison to them last night, and yeah, I guess the other one actually looks fine, but it's got little pops and cracks. This one has a little less pops and cracks for its age. Everything was in here. Had the insert, the picture sleeve. So now the thing that was interesting when I got home and compared them, I found out that there was actually the one that I got was a different label, different colored label than the one that I already had. Same record label, same catalog number, same year, according to Discogs. Both were 1976. But one of them, this was the one I had, was on this label for New Song, Nisi Records, New Song there. And then, so the new one was on a red label. So I do have two. They're both in, very good condition. Anyway, I ultimately will decide which one is really just a hair better. I don't think that they were any drastic, just a little more pops and cracks than the other one, and then I can pass the other one on to another person. This is going to be, Kenny Marks. This is a 1980, 1982, 3, early 80s. Contemporary Christian pop rock, borderline rock album. I've never had this album before. I had Kenny Marks 1985, or it was like 2 albums later, 1 or 2 albums later than this, his Attitude album, which I thought was really good back in the day. He was starting to get a little cutting edge. Here, I was pretty sure from the looks of it that it was probably a little more on the light rock side, but it's, it's just standard rock for the early 80s. And it is, a Christian, a contemporary Christian rock album. So, I'd love to find Attitude and some of his other stuff. That's the only one I think I ever had back in the day. But I had never seen this. Didn't even realize he had an earlier album, because I only had that one album, and it was kind of like, yeah, I'll grab that, and never heard much else beyond that. I think he had an album or so after that, but by that point I was engrossed in much heavier things. So now it's funny because I got one of these on Friday night, but I picked up another one by the Imperials. Now the Imperials, is it's a group, 4 or 5 guys, Southern gospel, and lots of harmonies. Think Oak Ridge Boys and bands like that just have all all going at it. And I've known of them, since the 80s. This is some of their stuff in the 70s. They've been around since the 60s. And the live album I picked up today was from the early 70s. This, I think, right after the live album, a year or two after the live album. I think if I recall correctly. And I give this a listen too. And even in the 70s, I mean, it's just fun stuff. It sounds great. Harmonies sound great. And it's not as light as at times as I thought. As I recall, it being. Of course, the stuff in the 80s was, a little more uppity and started getting more poppy. But anyway, I grabbed this and I gave this a quick cleaning, and it cleaned up really nicely. But anyway, so my Imperials collection is growing. And anyway, just kind of pick them up here and there like that. And then speaking of, this was, again, I saw this, I'm like, I can't believe this. Hymns Triumphant. I showed this. I have a copy of this. This is the Philharmonic. Okay, so it's the symphonic choir suite based on 42 traditional hymns performed by the London Philharmonic Choir and the National Philharmonic Orchestra. So it's orchestra music with the choir. Think Handel's Messiah or whatever. But it's choirs singing hymns. Loved this CD back in the day. Had this back in the 80s. Loved it all the time. There's a Hymns Triumphant 1 and Part 2. Part 1 is the one that I used to listen to all the time. So not too long ago, probably in the past year or so, I picked up a copy on vinyl. I ordered it on Discogs, and it was brand new, and it was, selling it for a good price. And then I stumbled across this one. It's a double disc set in like near mint condition. Still in the shrink, though, open, 99 cents. So I had to rescue it even though I already have it. I'm very fond of this album, so I thought, well, but for 99 cents, I had to rescue it. So I'm going to pass this on if somebody out there else, is into wanting to hear some of the traditional hymns with orchestra. It's a beautiful album, great stuff, and I'll pass that on. And then, this was kind of like, I saw somebody show this, didn't know that this existed, saw somebody show it. I mean, this guy just never ends with the amount of stuff that I see out there that he has. I got another Herb Alpert album. This is his Christmas album. Somebody showed this back around Christmas, and I think even somebody else made the comment. I didn't even know he had a Christmas album. I saw this. It was in great condition. I'm thinking 99 cents. I'll grab it. I have grown to appreciate his music. And some of the stuff I have that I listen to the most is his stuff from the 80s. This is a little bit older. And but I'm not opposed to that. I have Whipped Cream. And, I mean, he's just got... There's a bunch of his albums listed on there. Every time I turn around, there's a new album by him. And it's like he put out things forever. And I don't have a lot of these with the Tijuana Brass. Most of the ones that I do tend to have are just him. So the older Tijuana Brass stuff, cool stuff. Like I said, I remember listening to was Whipped Cream, or one. It might have been one of the other ones that I've got with the Tijuana Brass. And one of my daughters walked through and said, "Why are you listening to Busch Gardens music?" Busch Gardens, a local theme park around here. There's one in Florida. There's one in Virginia here, and they got the old country, and everything's based on countries. And when you walk around, they're playing different music from different countries, and so it kind of ends up sounding like that kind of music. Anyway, that's all for this one. I did get some stuff from that last store. I also have some stuff coming in the mail today, so I probably will do a video maybe later tonight just to show some of that, or tomorrow. We'll see. That's all, though, for this. More thrift store finds. Thanks for watching. Rock on and rock hard.